Esther, before she took her walk yesterday, she was doing her segment intending, and she always writes things that include feelings. And so she wrote, I love the feeling of this sweet California air on my face, in my mouth, and in my lungs. I love smelling and feeling and eating this air. And then she said, I love meeting and knowing all these little critters who live on this loop, who often don't show themselves to me, but I know they're there. I love the butterflies and the birds and the critters and the bunnies and the cats and the dogs and the babies in the strollers. In other words, she was activating and salivating over her co-creators that she knew were going to be out here on this loop with her this day. She wrote more about other things, but as she's walking the loop, right away, the fragrance in the air was uniquely not fragrant in the sense that it was flowers. It was fragrant in the sense that there was enough moisture in the air that she could smell the ocean in it. And so she just sort of took it in. She felt her entire body rising to the deliciousness of that like never before. And she knew for sure it was because she got out ahead of it and got herself prepared to recognize it when it met her. It's been meeting her every morning, but she was there to recognize it. It's the recognition of what's happening. And then butterflies and hummingbirds and all manner of critters are surrounding her, not more abundant than usual, but more poignant than usual, showing up just at interesting places and interesting timing and communicating with her, reveling in the beauty of this day. And so then she ended her walk and she walked into this main gate, into a courtyard. And in this courtyard, she has a stream that's man-made, but it's really beautiful and has so much volume to it and sound to it. And she walked into the courtyard. An owl was drinking from the water in the daytime. And he looked at her and she looked at him, and he looked at her and she looked at him, and then off he went into the sky like nothing Esther has ever seen before. Now she knows, she's known that owl was there for years. She can hear him at night. She hears him. She's not ever seen him before until she took an opportunity to get out ahead of it with her writing and to isolate within herself the feeling of these creatures who are sharing the loop with her, who are vibrational matches in their love of this succulent, delicious physical life experience that she is living. She activated within herself the way this owl feels about life, and he had to come to greet her. You see what we're talking about? The law of attraction had to put them together. This was not a fluke. This was not what humans want to call just a chance meeting. This was an absolute attraction based upon, now, did Esther say, as she wrote, today I will meet an owl and I will be happy? No, she didn't write anything like that. She wrote in general terms how she wanted to feel. She's leaving it to the universe to pick from what matters in her vortex. Now, if you know Esther, there's some books out on the table, some Sarah books, The Amazing Travails of the Giant Owl on Thacker's Trail. Owls are really, 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 really meaningful to Esther because she has such a sincere relationship with Solomon. She just doesn't see them every day. They're not running around, and she was not asking the universe to bring her an owl. She was asking the universe to acknowledge her joy. She was not reaching to be joyful. She was joyful in her writing. She didn't write to be joyful. She wrote because she is joyful. Can you feel the difference? This segment intending is about how I feel now. I feel loved. I feel blessed. I feel sure. I feel eager. I feel happy. I feel whole. I feel vibrant and alive. Can you feel what that's doing? It's activating her vibrational point of attraction. And then as she takes that feeling person, that person who feels like this, and she moves around her lovely loop, then anything that is a vibrational match to how she feels must show itself to her. It's co-creation at its best, you see. You have to accept that it's a beautiful world that you live in, and you have to calibrate yourself to the beauty of the world. You have to accept that you are a blessed being, and you have to calibrate yourself to that blessed being that you are. You have to accept that you're intelligent and wise and adored and whole, and practice the vibration of that until everything that comes back to you reflects that to you, you see. So when you are the deliberate creator of your own experience, what you really are is the deliberate confirmer and practicer of the core vibration of that which you are. Now, Esther's been moving around life. She's been feeling pretty much that way for a long time, and life's been very, very good to her. But it is, oh, so much more satisfying when she identifies something, as we're wanting to get you to do, identifies something, activates it in her vibration, savors it, writes words around it, sits and contemplates how those words feel, calibrating, and then deliberately moves out in the world so that the world can show her that it heard her calibration, that it honors her calibration, that it recognizes her calibration, that it is responding to her calibration. You are the creator of your own reality because you are the calibrator of your own vibration. You just got to accept that you are and do something about it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.